Welcome back to the next episode of the bench build. Yesterday we were faced with the challenge of needing to put a big hole over a small hole that already exists. So I said I was going to make a jig that would clamp over that would basically act as a drill guide, and I did. So this is it. Measures in at 2 1/4. So it's basically 3 pieces of 3/4 inch stock, some scrap I had laying around, and planed them down, glued them up, and drilled a 3/4 inch dog, or a 3/4 inch hole in there. This is what I'll use as my drill guide on the top for the dog hole system. And that's my 1.5 inch drill guide for the paddle bit. However, this paddle bit barely fits. I mean, it fits. It's an 1.5 inch hole and it's an 1.5 inch drill bit. But paddle bits only, because they don't have the flutes like an auger bit. I mean, you're guiding off of 2 little sides right there, and it really sucks trying to do that. So I clamped this up, I tried it, it didn't work. The small one that I'm going to use on the top, should work just fine because I'll be using auger bits. So what I did, I had a comment about, hey, why don't you use, or you could use just plug the hole with a dowel, right? I actually had the exact same thought at work today. While I was making the jig, I'm like, God, I could have just plugged that hole and used it. I felt so stupid and so brilliant all in the same moment. And yeah, so since that didn't work, we had plan B, and I implemented it. And it's not pretty, but we've got a bolt and it's countersunk. Or counterbored, I should say. So there it is there, and you can't see it from the front. I already plugged the hole, the second one. See if I can get it where you guys can see. We'll go ahead and drill this one together. Now, let's see if that'll work. So yeah, this is, needless to say, a pain in the ass. Because I have like no room to operate here. So I just kind of poke it in center, go slow, get it started. I don't know if I'll be able to put my body weight into it, if y'all still be able to see or not. Yeah, that's all right. Now I'm trying to keep it straight in both directions, and I can kind of see both marks scribing, one mark scribing. There we go. You can probably tell by the video whether I'm straight or not. And it's ugly. It chops it up. It's not clean like an auger bit. I wish I could zoom in with that camera, or with the camera on the computer, but yeah, it takes it off nice and slow, but kind of what you want. And it's nasty too, because it's only those two little things and these two rough edges. I should probably sharpen it. I still got a factory edge, so I didn't sharpen it like an idiot. But we're already here, so let's finish it up. This is such an awkward position. And it keeps catching because it catches because it's going, as it comes down, one side's going with the grain and the other side's going against it. Alright, that's what we get. We're working with wood here. Like I said, it is not pretty at all, but makes you just want to go grab a Forstner bit. And you gotta like clean off the edges there. It'll stop cutting on you. Oh, this is so frustrating, but this is the way that it would have been, maybe not with this bit, but, and they would have drilled the large hole first. But this is the way and the challenges that they would have been faced with, you know, hundreds of years ago or whatever. You know, they didn't have power back then, and power tools anyway, and so they had to figure out how to do it without it. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I do, like the whole thing. During the whole build, I've been faced with challenges that, like, man, this would be so easy with a power tool. Why am I putting myself through all this pain? But the whole object of this bench build is, for one, I work with hand tools. I don't even own power tools. I mean, other than like a battery-operated drill and a few other battery-operated. I have a kit for doing ridiculous stuff, the non-fun stuff. But I don't work with power tools because I don't even own them. So for me, this is my life. This is how I live. So figure it out, get it done. You know, carpenters, it's really killing my back. Carpenters back in the old days, they wouldn't have just given up. They'd have figured out a way to get it to accomplish the task at hand. So that's what I'm doing. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, you know, do all that good fun stuff. If you think I'm a moron, we'll change the channel. Now, conveniently, once I'm deep enough, it's the height of this, the actual cutting edge there, so I'll know when I'm deep enough. And I don't want to cut any deeper than I have to, because if I do, you know, I've only got 5/8 or so, I guess closer to 3/4 of an inch on the top, I know, underneath, between the leg and the edge here, right? So I'm really only going to be grabbing on like a 1/4 inch. And these little tips, these little cutters right here are not helping much. So I may end up, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how, this one turned out all right. I'm just a hair below the surface. And everything looks fine. But I don't know how much wood I'm really grabbing onto. I guess I could kind of grab a bolt and washer. And yeah, so I mean, I'm only grabbing onto like a 1/4 inch. I don't know how much, I don't know if these are really gonna do what I want it to do. Or maybe I should just go with a smaller one without a washer. At least I'd be grabbing onto the thickness of the washer too. I don't know. We'll go with this for now. If something else happens, well, I don't know, like if they break free or something, then I'll figure something out then. Maybe at that point, I just might end up chopping it in half and going with I don't even know how I do that off the top of my head, because it'll be glued up. Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter. I just unbolt it and stand it on its side and rip it. I should really start thinking before I open my mouth. Ugh. Well, it's coming along. It's just slow going. I'd be done with all of them by now if I had a power drill. But enough about that. Let's see if we're down far enough. Of course, I put the bolt away. Oh, just a hair above. We got a little bit more to go. And I'm just taking out that gnarly chip that's being left. Trying to anyway. And hit it real quick. I told you I use this thing every day. And pop that plug out. I guess the smart thing to do would just be to check it first. I think that's good. Two down. The good thing is that I didn't oh, it doesn't thread on. So I haven't counterbored the other side yet. So it doesn't want to accept the head of the threads of the bolt. So I'll do, I mean, like that one, I just barely grab the threads on the bolt, and then just kind of just cinch it down just a little bit. Remember that the goal isn't to be tight or anything. It's just to hold it to the hold the apron to the legs. That's it. Doesn't need to be like super tight or anything. But you know, to me, this is so much more enjoyable. I mean, other than the fact that it's challenging because I screwed up, but you know, if I wouldn't have screwed up, I wouldn't have learned a new technique. That's how you gotta look at it. Oh yeah, it looks good. And yeah, there's about that much you're actually grabbing onto. I didn't realize that when you're watching the other builds. But I guess it's enough. It's been working for hundreds of years. And this should go on. Let's see here. I chiseled enough of it out. Nice. Got it. Ugh. And I'll counterbore the other sides eventually, but right now I just want to bolt this sucker up. I don't know. I don't like the idea of hardware in there, but whatever. Adapt and overcome. She's coming along, guys. She's coming along. And in case you were wondering, 1.5" screws. Well, these are 1 5/8. That's all I had, but this is what I'm using for attaching the little keepers for the wedges in the wedge system. So now I'm just going to drill out, auger out those other, well, I got 4 holes left, 2 on this apron, and it doesn't look, it's already way past my time to stop, but yeah, so I'll probably go ahead and stop. I've got all week, and the goal is to get both bench tops, having both bench tops glued up, and I'm installing vices this weekend. I have a long weekend coming up, so this is my wrap it up, my finale weekend. I'm gonna call it, I guess. Hopefully, it's fun. I thought I'd be done the last weekend, but you know, things happen. So hopefully everything works out, and I'm able to get both. Because, I mean, really, all I have left, I have to do the 2 bolts on the other side of the big apron. That's just drilling some holes. But it's by hand, so it takes longer. And I gotta target them first. And then I have to, that'll be done. Once it's bolted up, I can go ahead and dry fit the rear top to that apron and plane down what I have to if I need to. If not, just hopefully I get lucky and I just glue it right up. That would be amazing. And then do the wedge system for the front apron and bolt it up and glue the other top to it. So realistically, if I can see what time it is. Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock. It'd be probably 10:30 by the time I get this sucker glued up, and that's just I won't be worth a crap tomorrow. So I think if I stay on pace, I got home a little late tonight because I had to stop off and get gas and groceries and the bolts and all that good stuff. But I got it all, and I think I can get. I think tomorrow night, if I get home, I'll have a solid 2 hours. I'll get the other 2 bolts, the other 2 bolt holes drilled, targeted. I'll target them tonight. That way, I gotta just get home and auger those holes out, bolt it up, and see what I gotta do to the top. Glue it up, let it sit overnight. That'll be one side done. And then that'll be Tuesday gone. And then Wednesday, I'll come home and start making the wedges and the keepers. That's probably going to take a couple hours in itself, even though they're smaller. Still dealing with all the same crap. And then mount it and glue it on Thursday night, and that should leave me Friday coming home early from work, and then I got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But I do got a lot of stuff I need to do this weekend. I gotta cut the grass and wash the cars and clean the house and all that kind of good stuff, because I got my landlord coming over on Tuesday. No. Wednesday. So that's it for the night. Oh, I also got I got started on, and if you didn't stick around for all the way to the end of this video, you'll see it later, I guess. I started making a maker's mark, or a branding iron with my maker's mark. And I mean, I've kind of been throwing around the design, and it's a real simple, easy design, but whatever. I wanted to keep it simple, and I got all the design laid out. Now all I have to do is weld it to a backer, and then weld a handle onto it. Call it a day. Be able to be able to put my maker's mark on everything. The large stuff anyway, because it's a pretty large. It's like, I don't know, 3 inches tall or so. But it's coming along. I got a lot of stuff done at work today, including on my regular work. That was all on my off time, my break time. So, and tomorrow I'm gonna take my vise in. I have one rehabbed vise and one that needs rehab, and so I'm going to take that other vise in and at least get it in there. That way, when I have time, I can start blasting it. And get it all put back together and get it ready for install. I will bring you guys all along for the vise installs. That'll be a challenge all on its own. So, but the bench will be done, and we'll be able to, you know, work on it and stuff. So that's great. That'll be amazing. At least we'll have half of it. I'll have to kick up the half that I'm working on, but yeah, it'll be awesome. So that's it. 6 minutes. Holy crap! I need to learn how to make shorter videos. I know, but whatever. It is what it is for right now. When I get done building stuff, I'll learn how to edit. Until then, this is the easiest, fastest way I know to put video content out for people that are trying to keep up with the build. So, if you like it, great. Stick with me. You know, fast forward as needed. Whatever makes you feel good. I do it myself, so whatever. I get it. But stick with me, and we'll get there eventually. Friends and family, I love you. Everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow.